as the view slowly opens, showing that world again. A world of blood-red skies, gray smoke hovering through the air. But then the view shows weird-looking super soldiers as they march through obsidian streets, fires raging everywhere while massive robotic things move through the background. And then Calamity J appears, saying, "Oh, don't mind me." Before Savage wakes up and falls yet again out of his bunk, on top of Canap Editor, who exclaimed with tiredness in his voice, "Ah, that hurt." Savage then apologizes and holds his hand to help him up. But Savage gets zapped by static electricity, and the Canap Editor apologizes as well, as they both chuckle it off, realizing they both had to apologize to each other. As the view now shows everyone else regrouped at the big man, or the three guards. Contestants. This next game is called Glass Bridge. Now, don't be scared, because what could possibly go wrong? We're just gonna lead you all here. Now, come on. As they go to a 20 by 2 square bridge with gaps in between each tip tile, as Daniel says, "Gee whiz, that's a okay." So if I do the math with a grid, it's at least a two. It's a 2 by 20, which means 10 on it. Which means 10 by 1. So there's 10 squares on the left and 10 squares on the right, and they're each in a column of 1. Are you what people may consider a nerd? The Voyager exclaims. And Daniel simply replies, "No, of course not. Though I could use the mathematical equivalent of the circumference thickness to the width to the length of that glass to figure out if it's tempered or purposely made to break at any sort of pressure, or if whichever one would be safe to step on." Asgard says, "I wish I could shoot you for being a grade A nerd." Anyway, so yeah, have fun. As the guard walks away, as Clone J raises his hand, "Oh, would there be a way for me to not only relieve myself, but also empty my bowels? I have not been able to do that for some time." "No." "Okay, I was just asking." I want to shoot that creepy son of a bitch. As the guy walks away, as the review shows that Daniel's first, why am I first? As everyone begins murmuring about how not only is he a nerd, but he's annoying, stupid, annoying. Yeah, I mean, it's not that bad, but so if it had to be anyone, it's not gonna be me, bro. As Big Cat pushes him forward, and Daniel looks at the impending glass squares of doom. As he jumps onto the first one, it's safe. You sure about that? What? As the glass breaks beneath him, and he gets sent plummeting. As Rochelle goes next, as she says in German, "I wish you all the best of luck, but I do not feel as right I continue forward through these challenges to test not only us, but our relations with each other. And also, fuck off." As Rochelle uses her knife to how do we say without being demonetized, end her suffering quickly, as her body and knife fall to the impending pit. As the guard shouts, "Hell yeah, finally that child is dead." As he uses a confetti launcher to shoot up confetti. Oh wait, was that the wrong time? As the Voyager goes next, and he jumps onto the first platform, and then jumps onto the next one. "See, you mere weaklings, this panel was meant to be stood on by a tyrant with maximum power." "You mean you're standing on air?" As the viewer reveals that the Voyager had stood on the wrong tile. "No, that's kind of an issue." As he plummets downwards while holding up a sign that says, "That's all, folks," and he hits the ground hard. As the Bob goes next. Bob? As he jumps off the platform, he contributed nothing. As kind of editor goes next, from saying, "Why me?" I don't know. You just look like the next sacrifice. Like, you're just a good-looking sacrifice, I guess. As kind of editor takes a deep breath and begins jumping on the right tiles. As he realizes, hey, this ain't looking good. Anyone want to take my place? As someone walks forward, as Kayla says, yeah, let's get this over with. As she begins jumping on the right tiles before the one breaks underneath her. As she uses her wings, though, to stay up and to not fall to her death. As she shouts, ha, idiot. As the guard shoots her in the head. She is dead. Anyway, let's just hurry this up. I have a 6 o'clock. Doctor's appointment today. I'd rather not die before then. This kind of editor says, you want to go next? Hell nah, bruh. Someone else go next. As no one says anything. Jeez, a bunch of babies. As he wishes another person to name the professional. As he begins trying his best. As he gets to one, but it breaks underneath him. Nah, I guess he wasn't the professional at that, that's for sure. Anyway, who's next? Which other loser wants to go next? A Savage says, As Natrix says, this'll be a piece of cake. As he goes to jump, but as Clone DJ grins. As Natrix goes to jump to the next platform, but Clone DJ extends out his leg. And when I mean extends out his leg, I mean extends it out all the way enough for Natrix to conveniently trip on it and fall through a crack in between each tile. What? Why are you looking at me like I just committed a homicide? As Putter finally gets over there. Okay, what happened? As Canop Editor says, you missed a lot. How about you go next? We have to find the right tile to jump on. As Putter says, sure. As he jumps over to Canop Editor as Putter says, actually, how about you go first, and then I'll follow. As Canop Editor jumps forward and the tile doesn't break. As he then jumps to the next platform, and when Putter goes to follow, the glass underneath him breaks. As Canop Editor says, what the heck? I was just standing on it. As Canop Editor realizes, wait a minute. As he jumps onto the platform next to his, and then back, because he realizes, as Jen says, wait a minute. You look like you're made of some sort of plush material, right? Like some sort of half plush, half person. As Canop Editor says, yeah. People say I feel light as a feather sometimes. As Savage says, are you so light that you're capable of jumping on any platform without it breaking? Looks like it. As Canop Editor makes it to the end, as another person named Toasty Boy decides to go next. As they make it almost to the end, as he realizes he go for left or right. Oh, don't worry, I can help you. As Clone DJ kicks him onto one of the platforms, causing it to break. I guess that wasn't the right one. As he turns to them with a look in his eyes that says, I am going to murder you all in cold blood, win these games, and do terrible things in the future. Oh man, how do you know what I was gonna do? As everyone looks at Big Head like he's crazy. What? We're all thinking it. As Clone just suddenly teleports next to Canop Editor. As Canop Editor then exclaims, can you guys hurry? This guy's looking at me funny. As we show Clone DJ mean mugging Canop Editor. As he wishes Clone DJ's POV where he scans Canop Editor. Oh, wait. His dad say he has a girlfriend. Surprising. Adding that to data archives. Ooh, someone just got roasted. A stand-up editor throws a shoe at Big Head. Ouch. Hey, it's only funny when I make fun of you, not when you do something to me. Asshole. As the view shows another person, as Cameron says, I guess I'll try. As he begins hopping and hopping, as he almost falls though, as someone stops him from falling though, and he turns to see the engineer. And she says, I couldn't let you fall like that. It would be kind of embarrassing to die like that, wouldn't it? As Cameron smirks and she helps him stabilize. Contestants, you have like 2 minutes. It's not only getting too emotional, but also taking way too much time. And I'm running out of tissues. And cough drops. And Tylenol. And morphine. As the engineer and Cameron jump together, but Cameron falls through one of the tiles. As the engineer says no, as she holds on to him, as Cameron says, I'm sorry, but as he lets go, letting the engineer complete the puzzle, as she turns back to the rest of the tiles, as she goes to jump, and she jumps to the rest of them. As the viewer, everyone else wasn't paying attention and didn't want to look at the I guess you could say sacrifice part of this. Wait, what tiles did you jump on, lady? As the engineer says, oh, I don't know. I kinda forgot. As she chuckles a little bit and says, oh, come on. It's a weekend for being assholes. As the engineer says, actually, yes. How'd you know? Savage and exclaims, damn it. As they all try and think of a plan, as vicious Chaos Causer Richard. Hey, bros, just come on. As Chaos Causer Richard begins jumping on all the correct ones, and sees only 3 more rows to go. Savage says, how are you doing that? You see, bros, it's like, as he takes a drink of his Heartstopper energy drink, you just gotta pick the ones you think is wrong, because then they're gonna be, as the tile breaks underneath him. And Savage says, why do I feel like he was a hippie? Yeah. As others continue forward, but some fall, and Savage gets to the last one, with only him, Big Head, and like 4 others. As Savage says, what do I do? I'm sorry, friend. As Bogdan runs up behind Savage, pulls him out the way, and jumps onto one of the tiles. As it breaks, and Savage catches Bogdan. No, Bogdan. I'm sorry, friend, but maybe I learned something. I learned that vodka isn't just everything in life. Vodka is just a drink, and the real part of life is the friend we made on the way. As Abjin says, but so true and yet so stereotypical for a show like this. Goodbye, my friend. As aren't you gonna let go? Oh hell no! You really think I'm gonna die? The full damage? Hold on. As Big Head kicks Bogdan's hand, causing him to fall. Nah, it's much better. As Savage then looks at him. What? We didn't want people to think we're trying to make this a stereotypical show with a person sacrificing themselves, couldn't we? We had to be different, dude. As they get to the end, yeah, other 3 contestants, your time is like out. As someone then exclaims in a French accent, but we made it. This is bullshit. Vive la justice on! As the floor breaks beneath them and they fall to their death. Contestants, you are the last 4 remaining. Oh, goody. But I have plenty of knives to go around. Why are you looking at me like that again? Jeez. Assholes. As Sedge then says, wait a minute. as he sees Spartan Elite hanging on for dear life. The Spartan Elite says, "Ugh." I says he's on the edge of falling. The Savage then realizes what he needs to do. As he grabs some randomly conveniently placed planks of wood and uses them to get the Spartan Elite. The Spartan Elite says, "I'm not gonna make it, man." The Savage don't say that as he begins pulling him up as hard as he can. As Savage begins to lose his grip and looks back to see Clone DJ secretly using mini robots to begin cutting the plank. The Spartan Elite says, maybe I should have not done this after all. Maybe I should have just listened to my mother. As he hands him a lighter. Take this, and good luck, sunshine. As Barnaby lets go, before letting himself fall down as he looks up at Savage, closing his eyes, he doesn't feel it, as he slams into the floor beneath. As Savage manages to get back to the platform just as Clone DJ's robots cut through the wood. Well, I almost shed a tear. As they get back to their bunks, where they see only 4 remaining, as kind of editor says, that was sad. Savage says, I know. As they continue walking, as Savage realizes, something I've always been wondering is that Clone DJ person. He doesn't seem like normal. As Clone DJ, as kind of editor exclaims, who really is normal in this world? We sure as hell aren't. You aren't. I'm not. Who really is normal now? Who's actually really normal? And Savage says, true that, man. True that. As they then dab up and they go to rest. As the view shows in the middle of the night, as Clone DJ begins to overload again. Error. As he begins to frantically dig for any leftover blood from his earlier massacre during the last game, aka Hide and Die, which you should totally go check out that episode. As he frantically digs through a bunch of random junk. Come on, there has to be more blood somewhere. Please, I can't, my lord, I cannot not die. As he then turns to the engineer, who sleeps soundly. As he pulls out his knife, which he took from Michelle. They won't even notice. As the view now shows Clone DJ as it begins stabbing her repeatedly, with no one noticing, as the view begins to glitch. That's better. I needed that little boost of energy. As he drags her corpse away, only leaving little driplets of blood in his wake, as he fully consumes her body. That is much better. Now, back to business. As the view then goes dark, only showing Clone DJ's red, glowing X eyes.